I've exhibited at RetroFest for a couple of years now at the Centre for Computing History in Cambridge. This is the first time that we've collectively run an event in Swindon at the Steam Museum. This is a short video of the weekend, and apologies for the sound in places. I was recording all of this live from my iPhone.
Dave's just, it takes me a while to slowly. I'll run it from here. #3 1.
So is this some kind of program to run it on a cycle then?
It will do, yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to cheat on my main console to get that in.
This is just to help me write it up later because I've got a terrible memory. So it's all DCC and it's being controlled by an Arduino and a BBC Micro, which is most excellent and well tuned. And it was lit up as well. You get bonus points for the lights, I think. My godson had a DCC set and it's fascinating being able to control locos independently. Because I'm old enough to remember the 01, I'm thinking it was Voodoo at the time. That's brilliant.
Yeah, you're fine then.
Brilliant. No, I like that a lot. Well, thanks for that, Chris.
Nothing wrong with coming here and play. There's a menu. He's loading the basic menu on that one.
Yeah.
That's the same system.
Yeah.
And that basic program's got a menu for basically doing the moving from siding to siding and cycling. Like this one's on a cycle between two sidings.
Yeah.
And it's obviously got the stop command to stop it doing this.
Yeah.
But there's also a command to take it into control it from the switches.
Oh, right.
On the new bear.
Oh, right.
So you set the siding numbers on the switches and press a go switch,
So that's the new bear over there then.
The new bear's over here. It's one of the UK's first kit computer.
Yeah, I know. I'm sadly old enough to remember these seeing these in hobby electronics and whatnot.
Okay. If you do an 8, Dave, to stop it on the menu, and if you go on your menu to get the switches going. So then you can put siding number. So where do we go? If we go back to siding, let's go to siding 3 from siding 2.
That's one.
Oh, sorry.
That's one.
No, it's not. It's 2.
Oh, sorry, of course.
There's 3 bits.
Yeah, it's 3 bits. I'm thinking of nibbles, aren't I?
That sets it off.
I'm thinking of nibbles.
Awesome.
That's
I think people are going to love this.
And you can see when it's gone past the isolation rails, because it's bicycle.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Thanks for showing. Here of Micro Beast, Video Beast, and various other beasts.
Yep.
There's the man himself. We've got a bouncing cube demo running on the Spectrum. Is that running on the Micro Beast? No, it's running on the Spectrum.
Running on the Spectrum, yeah.
So we've actually got the FPGA board he's got here, which is an add-on for the Spectrum, driving this screen here with all of the lovelies of the Micro Beast, albeit with looks like glitchy graphics on it, which is going to get fixed later.
I'm suffering tape loading errors on a Saturday morning.
Oh, okay. Are you actually using a proper tape as well, or an
I'm
emulator?
using one of these tape emulators, and it is...
I'm going to get a tape loading error off an emulator.
Yeah, it's special technique. It's show nerves.
Oh, show
It's
nerves,
got
yeah.
show nerves.
Okay. Well, I mean, look at this. It's running on the Spectrum, and no, it's like probably.
That's all Z80. There's no other microcontrollers. It's pure. The Spectrum is doing all that.
Basic or Z80, did you say?
In Z80.
Z80. I mean, it's still pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah. I just need to fix that little bit of corruption, and we'll be happy this morning.
Okay, well, I'll let you do that. I'm going to go and have a look at the Micro Beast now. And I've got one of these, and I've said before and said it again, it's actually a lovely looking computer. And I'm waiting for you to release these so I can buy one of these for my Micro Beast. I don't know when they're going to get released.
Very, very soon. I'm really, really hoping to get this all up and running. There we go. There we go.
So, and this is obviously inspired by this fella here, which Micro Professor, that's the one. And some of the other stuff that he's doing include these wonderful calculators, which are based on the Nano Beast. Is that right? So the Nano Beast is this wee little purple board down here, which is basically a surface mount version of the Micro Beast. Is that correct?
All pre-built, so you can just plug it in and off you go. Real CPM and play games.
Okay, so this is the reason why I don't bring my wallets to things like this. So anyway, thanks very much, Randy. I'll let you get on. So known as 6502 nerd. There we go, 602 nerd. This is the wonderful, looks like a BBC Micro. It is not a BBC Micro. Look at this. This inspired me to have a crack at doing my own, which was the BSX. And to be honest, I've not reached this level of complexity yet. I mean, it's
it's an ongoing hobby, isn't it, Dean?
Yeah.
So we'll build it a bit at a time. So I'm just doing a test because I've just started to.
Am I getting the way that you? Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay.
So let's.
This is Tony. Tony organises the event. Hello, Tony. He wears a high vis vest because all of these computers are dangerous. Very, very wise man. There we go.
So I'm just going to do a little test.
Dolo's also done his own basic here, which is called D flat.
It is called D flat as a little joke on C sharp.
Absolutely. That's the best kind of thing. Everything's a joke on C sharp, to be honest.
Built from the ground up. So the breadboards, obviously.
Yeah.
And then the whole software stack, including the programming language. And then this is just a little test suite. I've just want to see if the computer's working properly.
Yeah, we've all got. I've got one of those now for my boards.
Yeah. I normally have video memory sort of glitches when there's a noisy environment.
So it's a TMS, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
99.
Yeah.
And you've also bit banging SD card as well.
That's right. So the SD card here, it's just loaded that.
Yeah.
So I've built the whole software stack, a FAT16 stack, all in 6502 machine code. It's just a learning exercise, a bit of fun.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Like I said, it was inspirational. It inspired me to have a crack at doing it myself.
I remember.
At some point, I will reach this level of wiring. But I've got the video working. But writing your own file system for the SD card,
I thought, why copy one when I could reinvent the wheel myself and learn in the process?
Absolutely.
So so the TMS 18 is under there. There's a 6502, but it's running at 5.3 megahertz. So it's 5 times faster than my Oric over here.
Yeah.
And then I've got ROM and RAM banking, so I've got 128k of RAM, 64k of ROM, hosting all of the different software.
Yeah.
And it used to be, as you might remember, you had a little bit more to it. I had a real-time clock on there. Anyway, with all the wires flying around, there's a lot of glitching, so I've decided to simplify a little bit. Just back to the basic.
Well, I'm glad it seems to have fired up first time anyway.
Because we used to have a lot of problems with this, didn't we?
Well, I remember, was it a couple of years ago, the power, was it your power brick was set to the wrong voltage?
Oh, yeah.
And then it was the power again last time. I think the wire had come loose, hadn't it?
Right, I actually bought my soldering line just in case it happens again this time.
Oh, good man, yeah. I've minimally tooled. I was hoping that I wouldn't have to do any field repairs, so...
I'm going to keep that in the box as well, so...
Yeah. Cool, well, I'll let you crack on then. Cheers for that. What are we doing here then?
I'm just loading a basic program.
Right.
So it's reading in from the paper tape. It's just as if somebody was actually typing it in.
Yeah.
So that's basically doing it. 10 characters a second into the old version.
Right, so in essence what this is doing is the tape readers sending something to the Altair and then it's as if the user was typing
it's
it.
literally as if the user was typing it in.
Right.
So to save a program, you would basically turn the pointer on and type list.
Right.
And it would print it out and also put it in the tape.
I mean, that's so stylish. It really is.
And so if you wanted to do a copy of the tape, all you do is literally turn the pointer on.
Yeah.
And there comes your copy as it's reading in.
Oh, right.
That's probably bigger there.
Tape copying, old school.
Yeah.
There you go. And this is the bad boy itself then.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at.
You can see it's in a loop there at the moment, and every time it gets to the end of line, you'll see a blink where it processes that line of data. Any second now.
There you go. Yeah, I saw it all flicker then.
Yeah.
Cool. No, it's lovely that. We've got more goodness over here. I mean, this digital terminal is just a work of art. I love it.
Yeah.
They just don't make them like this anymore, do they?
No.
And this is the thermal teletype, isn't it? So that's ribbon and impact. This is thermal.
Yeah, so that is a silent 700.
So if you were a stylish exec in the 1970s or 80s, you'd probably have one of these in your briefcase.
Yeah, exactly.
Acoustic coupler on the back of it as well. So this, as well as having the acoustic coupler, this can connect via serial as well, can't it? Yeah. With his fantastic and much documented fixed 01, which was the iconic rail controller, digital rail controller, 1979. I always had it early 80s. So you've actually built this set specifically for the show, haven't you? Which is an incredible achievement, including this layout here. I mean, look at this. This is absolutely fantastic. I mean, I've got a friend of mine that builds Z gauge. It's the really narrow gauge, and you know he puts this kind of attention, level of detail in. It's brilliant. So how are the points controlled on this? I noticed the points are
Two of the points controlled from the 01.
okay, so they're controlled by the 01 as well. So if you flick that now, say for example, can you do?
Trying to do three here. At the moment, the keypad is playing up.
Okay, and the signals are controlled by the 01 as well, I guess. Oh, there we go. That just flicks over.
I think I've got it from the 3. Okay.
So they've got their own controller module on as well, then, or you got an accessory module,
which controls four items.
and that's a Hornby accessory as well, is it?
Yes.
Right, oh, you've gone the whole hog here, it's not just the rails. So let's have a look, let's have a demonstration of the locos moving then. So,
So let's make sure that I've got the signal in the right
Okay.
place. So move the regulator.
oh, you decoupled as well. Oh, that was very smart. So you've got a, yeah, I see what you did there. Oh, very whizzy. You put a lot of attention to detail to this, mate. It's actually much more comprehensive than I thought it was. I mean, I've been catching up with you on the socials, watching you, fix PCBs and solve various problems. And I just thought you'd be turning up with, maybe trains moving forwards and backwards. You've really got the whole hog here. Very impressive. You're not going to hitch those up. I can see you having a lot of fun doing this as well. Of course, it's all microprocessor controlled, the TMS 1000 chip.
Yes.
And as I discovered from you this morning when we were talking, the TMS is not only in the unit, it's actually in the loco module and in the accessory module. So, I mean, it literally was, when I was looking at the consoles back in the 80s, it was just it was on Swell's World and everything. They were demonstrating, the idea of decoupling the loco's movement from the power. So it wasn't just a case of, you reverse the polarity and then it moves backwards. It was just like, at the time, how did they do that? And of course, you've got a microprocessor control train at that point. And to retrofit it into existing locomotives, it was a stroke of genius, you know what I mean? So,
A module, just like the current DCC modules, not much different size.
yeah.
For the diesel locos, you just unplug the original wires, plug those wires in,
Yeah.
job done.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's just an incredibly simple design but effective. So, yeah, well, thank you for that anyway. And I really appreciate it. I'm sure a lot of people have as well, actually, how much effort you've gone into producing this layout. So, yeah. And he's going to tell us his Apple clones.
Yes, so this is the Macintosh Plus replica. Basically what it is a one-to-one clone of the Macintosh Plus using no hardware from Apple at all. Software, different matter. So this is something from this last year. This all started because the powers were actually reverse engineered by, not by me, but by some very intelligent people that are listed here. They have got them reverse engineered, and at the same time that there was a one-to-one replica of the motherboard that was released by Max1ZZ, very interesting username. From there, I was able to actually design two boards there and there. Basically, just all they're doing is they're replacing the 2 bits of Apple silicon. So the first one there is actually the Sony SMD. Basically, what it is Sony was contacted by Apple to make an analog IC that can power resets, volume amplification, and volume control. All they do is take the compressible maximum 128K, cut it out, turn it into chip, and basically just do the same, return it to a board from a chip. The other one is the Shim IWM or SWIM. Basically all that's doing, it's a standard for the IWM, which is the pop controller. IWM, the pop controller, is an incredibly annoyingly complicated bit of circuitry. Even Apple engineers in the 80s didn't like it, because actually have documentation of prototypes that say quite clearly, and information at IBM, you do not want to know how this works. And that's all they give. So all that board does, it doesn't do any of the actual proper controlling. All it does is system boots up, it says, okay, you look like a pop controller, are you? It goes, yes I am. It goes, brilliant. Is there a flop distance? It goes, nope. It goes, okay, no worries, I'll boot from discussing, and that's all it does. So from that, there's not a single chip, nothing from Apple, but obviously the peripherals themselves are from Apple, but it happily boots into System 7, and at the moment I've got it via a Blue SCSI V2 online as well, and so it's showing the Hackster article about the Macintosh Plus clone on the phone itself.
And what does the Pico doing over there?
The Pico, that is just simply a scanning converter. It's turning a TTL video signal from the Plus into a VGA signal for the
that makes sense, That's a lovely looking board, I like that a lot, And look at, I mean, it's just so stable as well, you know. Well, obviously, I've done video on the Pico myself, so
it's a really nice project that was done by Go 3. It's going to run an SE core, but it runs like Plus as well. So it's a very nice crystal display as well, which is testament to the Pico, I think.
Absolutely,
It's actually a successor to the Unitron 512.
Right.
So the Unitron 124, just in the name, it's 1 megabyte of RAM. As far as I'm aware, that the Unitron 124 was never fully developed. There's no real mention of it anywhere online except for the ROMs itself. So as I was saying, the Unitron, halfway through cloning the Macintosh 512K, they managed to get that done. They were actually creating a clean root implementation of the ROM themselves. So those ROMs only contain about 20 kilobytes of code from Apple. The graphical routines were completely rewritten. So you can see that instead of a question mark, you have a little animation. And you might see that your cursor is now a little pointer. Now, it gets a bit more interesting from that, because if you interrupt it, instead of a unhappy Mac, you get... press the right button. You get a thumbs down.
Oh, right.
And if you do a reset, and if you, for example, put in a bad floppy disk, thumbs up saying memory check passed, you get a wagging finger. Just saying, oh, they're bad floppy disks. Then if you boot it up, sorry, if I just grab my, there we are, you get thumbs up again, and then interestingly enough, you get a small splash screen. Unitron 124, Unitron, still.
Now, I've actually heard about this online. I've read it somewhere. The name rings a bell. So it's actually quite nice seeing the ROM running in real life.
And the interesting thing is that the ROMs are only, those ROMs are only found out last year. The ROMs from the 512K that have been all patched out, the copyright taken out, they were online. these ones are found in an archive on a Brazilian archive website, buried into floppy disks from Unitron themselves.
Right. Okay.
And someone found it, like, that looks interesting, pulled it out, found it was actually this one. And this is interesting because I believe, I'm not certain, this is the first time that these ROMs have actually been run on real hardware since the 80s.
Right.
And but once it's booted up, it just becomes a normal Macintosh. The only difference is that your cursor is now as a pointer, but past that point, it's completely stable. It doesn't crash, it doesn't fail, it doesn't go over, it's happy. So I'm thinking that Unitron, if they had enough time and they didn't get suitably by accident, they could have actually created a fully compatible Macintosh ROM without any Apple Home there. They would have been in the same point as the PC phones because they would have said, well, there's nothing from Apple, so they would have been fine. It's just an interesting little niche bit of history. Really.
Well, I mean, I didn't even realise the ROM existed. I heard about the fact that they tried to do this and there was a lawsuit and it all went horribly wrong for Unitron. That's about it. So finding the ROMs, that's
exactly, So, my theory is that actually the Unitron 1024, as I said, there's not real any mention of it online, but I've got a feeling what it was is actually a Unitron 512 with a 12K RAM included to bring up the RAM to 1 megabyte. And the ROM systems actually have, as I said, the basic Macintosh 512K, but they have a few extra bits of weirdness. So the first one actually is that it's got 1 megabyte of RAM on the system. But Macintosh 512K ROMs never supports 1 megabyte because actually the memory map is based off how much RAM the system has. So if you've got a 512K and say plus, it will just give you garbage. So you manage to catch it to get it to work at 1 megabyte, which is odd. The other thing is that because this was written in about 1988, it only can work up to system 3.3. Anything past that, it crackles horribly. But the weird thing is that even though it's from 88, it doesn't understand SCSI. It doesn't have the driver for the SCSI controller inside it at all, but it does have this driver for the HD20. So the hard drive. So if I had an HD20, it would actually be from the hard drive. But because of that, it just becomes a really weird system.
Absolutely. Oh, well, I'm glad you brought that along. Thanks for explaining. It's basic code 2 tape that I got off my mate Gareth with Ben, aka Sharpworks, on one of his lovely Sharp machines. So we've got an error already. Okay, so has anything loaded?
All we've got is the basic language.
Right.
What we need is probably the manual.
Right, where's the manual gone then?
Under the desk.
Right, there we go. Right.
It looks like a special version of basic.
It probably is.
For the Sharp. To use it. 36.
I mean, it must be a special loader.
Looks like. Might be this load -2.
Load /2, is it, or something?
Sorry, load /2. Yeah. See if that works.
Okay, that looks about right because it's supposed to put in some translation code below line 1000.
Right, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, how would you do after that then?
What's my code? 36.
There should be a load command. Have we got how to load stuff on? Yeah, do not those in the use of routine.
Yeah, it mentions that, doesn't it? So do we just do a normal load command then?
I guess so, let's try it. Are you on the side with the...
Yeah, I'm on the side with the program.
Okay, let's give it a go.
Yes. Okay. So hopefully the programs don't take too long to load.
Shouldn't do. Do you reckon it's loaded a special version of BASIC then?
Yeah, it looked like a modified version of the original Sharp BASIC for the M4.
It's presumably got a modified load command.
Yeah, but it had slightly less bytes free, I noticed, when the BASIC finished loading.
Right.
I'm hoping the tape is okay as well. Okay.
Do we get any indication whether it's loading or?
I hope so, yeah. Usually you would.
Yeah.
too happy at the moment. As you can see.
Maybe some further instructions on the tape.
We've got a list of the programs.
No.
No. Well, again, I haven't had a chance to analyse the tape, the waveform, so it could be that it might need cleaning or something.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough.
At least we got the language loaded.
We got halfway there, yeah. And we got some other sharps here, so we got the Pac-Man clone here running on. Greedy Gremlins, great name for a game that. Now, I must admit, I've told you this before, when I used to hang around Laskeys, these are all of the exotic machines that I could never afford. And I think this one and the Pep, because they look so iconic, you know, they've got the built-in screen, they've got everything you need to tape record now, and they look the business. I mean, today, it looks of its age, but at the same time now, it's just lovely, isn't it? I mean, you look at that, it's got a nice keyboard. You look at this looks like the computer I was looking at in Laskeys. Nice clear monitor.
A lot of people commented on the monitor today. It's really clear.
Yeah. And you're probably not going to be picking this up if you look at it on the video, because it's recording the CRT, but it's a really clear monitor.
Yeah, bright. Yeah.
I mean, I had a ZX81 at the time, so the idea of having character graphics like this made perfect sense.
Yeah. We got a little dedicated button on the keyboard there.
Oh, I know. I know. I mean, I had, the ZX81 block graphics. It's pretty much like what you're seeing on the maze there, which is greys and blacks and whites and solid blocks. Whereas here, I mean, it's like the Tatung Einstein or the PET or the Commodores. You've actually got curves and whatnot. In fact, those are quite similar to the shapes you get on my Einstein. I've got the keyboard symbols on that.
Oh yeah, okay.
Very similar to that.
Like the Commodore, really.
Yeah, like the Commodore. Yeah. Well, it doesn't look like that's doing anything, so I'll probably leave that in your capables. But yeah. Oh yeah, you got a GoTo running there as well. Yeah.
And this is a heavily modified M38.
Right.
It's got a bunch of modern hardware additions to it.
Yeah.
For instance, stop that, reset. So usually you just see monitor SA1510.
Yeah.
That extra part is the additional part. If I open this up, you'll see.
Oh right. Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah. I've not seen inside.
So there's an additional board there, which provides SD card access, and there's an additional board at the back near the monitor.
Yeah.
Which actually provides an AC column modification.
Oh right. Yeah.
And colour output.
Colour output.
Yeah.
So does that come out of the back or something?
Yeah, it's an external monitor. Yeah. Which is something that Sharp never told anybody it could do.
Really?
So the potential for that was there. Yeah. They never documented it.
Yeah.
So I saw an early version of this manual.
Yeah.
Which actually has a page in it that's not in mine, which documents the colour RAM.
Yeah.
So they must have been thinking about it and then thought, well, the MZ700 is coming along. That does colour, so maybe we're not going to...
Yeah, well, I was going to say they actually launched the colour version. You brought that the last November, I think, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you weren't last November, the November before. Yeah.
But if I type 80 into the monitor,
yeah.
I've now got our 80 columns.
Wow,
that's good for CPM, which was available for the show.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's one thing I miss on the Einstein, it's CPM compatible.
Yeah.
But you need an extra board hanging off the back that connects to the monitor in order to get 80 column. So having it all integrated like that, but on the same monitor, you can just switch between it.
So you've got the SD card, so you can index that. Back in the day, so I index that again. Where are we? 0B.
Yeah.
That basic there is the one that came with the sharp on the tape.
Yeah.
Took about a minute and a half, 2 minutes to load the language. But obviously with this, if I do that now.
Because you're in a machine operating system, though, are you?
Yeah.
So again, it's a bit like my Einstein, where it doesn't have a native language. It just boots into a machine.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just a
MOS.
ROM that
Yeah.
It just lets you load things basically.
Yeah.
So if I do that. Loaded.
Yeah, yeah, that's what you want, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, it's one of the things I like about my GoTech. It's not quite that quick, but I can boot into the. I mean, he wasn't that slow anyway. Cause I think the operating system fits in a couple of setters of the floppy. But at the same time, then you got to load basic on top of that, which means you basic or whatever Einstein crystal basic. Just being able to load it so quickly like that makes a massive difference, and not swapping tapes and all of that kind of jazz.
Of course, also you also then had the choice of what language you wanted to use as well.
Absolutely.
You weren't forced to use the one.
Or not at all, so you got the full 64K for whatever application or game. Because of course you got games,
You had the full 48K available to the user.
Yeah.
Whereas the 4K ROM monitor run didn't take anything away from that.
Yeah.
So you had the full memory.
Cool. Thanks for that.
They're quite compressible machines.
Yeah. And it's Z80 as well, isn't it? Z80.
Z80, yeah, 2 megahertz.
Yeah.
And as I say, they're quite compressible as long as the program is stuck to charts and specs. And
Yeah.
how to read the keyboard and everything like that.
Yeah.
Those software can run between the two.
Yeah.
Which meant when the M78 came out, you had the whole library of the M78K already available, and then the new stuff for the A as well.
Yeah. Cool. Our RC 2014 guy, hi Spencer, who's going to tell us a little bit now about these fabulous Mini 2 Picassos. I'm going to do a close-up of one here. You can see that none of the chips are in a particularly straight line. One of them's behind the board. You've got a resistor, what did he call it? A spiral staircase?
The spiral resistor staircase. It's a bit like a resistor ladder, but it's a staircase.
Yeah. So it is a resistor ladder though, isn't it?
No, it's not.
It's not. Okay, it's just a bunch of resistors, but it'd be really good if it was a resistor.
Yeah. So I mean, there is no good reason why all the resistor legs should all go through the same hole.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's not illegal.
Yeah.
No one's going to stop me from doing it. So I've done it. None of the traces on the PCB are straight.
Yeah.
All of the chips are at a predetermined angle, which is a closely kept secret as to why. Turn it over.
I forgot to look at the bottom the other day because it was just bouncing up there. It is a work of art, a proper work of art. That.
But it's also a fully functioning, working Z80 based computer, which runs Microsoft Basic or a Z80 assembler.
Yeah.
Every kit is unique, so the colour combinations of all of the headers, the power socket and the LED, every kit has a unique combination of those, so you won't see any two the same.
Right there we've got a yellow board, white power connector, purple power connector on a white board, green and purple. Got some PCBs down here. Oh, you've got one in your hand there.
So one of the things which I was aiming for with this was to keep art had to be at the very centre.
Yeah.
Now, if we look there, art is at the very centre.
Oh, very clever. Yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, art is at the very centre. And is it exactly in the centre? Or just near enough as?
It's the centre.
It's the centre.
It's the centre.
It does look like the centre. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know why I'm being so specific. Yeah, it is the centre. And I've noticed what I do like of the fact is that it's, you got parallelograms rather than rectangles for the shapes. So it's
which may or may not match the pin out of it.
Yeah.
So whatever the design rules are for making a PCB, I've broken as many of those rules as I can.
Yeah. Just zooming in on this detail here, where the resistor staircase goes in. I don't think you often see that kind of design on a PCB, to be honest. So they all go through that central point there.
That's it. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, those are neat.
Got the logo on the copper layer there as well.
Yeah. That is excellent. So I mean, you've got all the stuff here. I mean, I've got the RC 2014 Pro, which I love. I keep telling you about how fantastic it is. So I've got all of your other more standardised, straight PCBs.
Yeah, I mean, I do accommodate people which would like all their chips orthogonal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So but I do like that a lot. I mean, I think when you first put it on the internet, I thought at least that, and then had a coffee and looked at it again and thought, oh, actually that is really, really, really stylish. It's different.
Yes.
How much do you think I would have gone for £95?
So today only for the show they're £95 for the kit.
Yeah.
If you order them online, they're £101 and 1p.
Yeah. Okay, a nice number. I like that. Yeah. So the RC 2014. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Yesterday I claimed you had become a standard because of the RC 2014 bus.
Possibly the bus has become a standard, but I don't think I'm a standard.
I don't think we could ever accuse any of us of being standards, to be honest, really. But yeah, it is. The bus is standard. I mean, Andy Toom's using it over on the Micro Beast. I'm pretty sure we got some timer blocks over there. They have the bus on it as well, don't
That's
they?
it, yes.
But Andy Toom was saying that he's kicking himself because he's put the bus on, he's reversed. So if you put a card on with 90-degree pins, it's chips down rather than chips up.
Right.
Something like that anyway. And he's like, because obviously with a Micro Beast, because you've got the case, you don't necessarily want the card sticking up vertically.
That's right, yeah.
So he's adopted your standard and made it non-standard.
But it still takes the cards though, so that's what counts.
Absolutely. Cool, right, so... Sean has got a light gun running my game Solar Invasion, which I have not played since I wrote it, whenever that was. So, what, early 90s probably? I think it's 83. Possibly. So, here we go. Let's see how good I am at this. Hang on. So you can change direction. That was it. Actually, this isn't half bad. Not very good at it though. What was supposed to be shooting? Oh, there's a. Oh, that's it. You shoot those and then they grow into bigger things, don't they? You know, I wrote this in about 2 days. Probably shows, doesn't it? Oh, there's a big one. Can I rotate round? Maybe if you stand further away, I'll hold ammo. You're right, it's not that accurate, is it? I think I must have got the knack of. You can see when it flashes. That's roughly when it stops. You see, it's only flashing halfway across the screen. That's when it's caught the raster, and it stops scanning at that point. Oh, that's brilliant. So what else we got here apart from embarrassing them games? There's only good things.
I've got the whole set.
I'll just come around the other side. At some point I need to get myself a plus 3. We're a 3-inch drive, a proper one, because I need to... So
this is the pack that came with it back in the day.
I think Goff did Mission Ground Zero. If you launch Game 1, that's a Goff one. Or it might have been Mike Follin. I can never remember. It's either Peter Goff or Mike Follin.
There's side B as well.
Yeah. Does that load automatically on the go? Oh, there we go. Oh, it's Steve Tatlock. No, well, you know. I think that, like we were saying yesterday or the day before yesterday, the light gun's not terribly accurate, you know what I mean? They're good enough, but I don't think the optics are particularly good on the lenses on them.
There's this one here. I'll show you this game, because this one I think uses the squares method.
Yeah. If it was Rookies, that's the Peter Goff one.
Yeah.
Peter Goff became a dentist. He was also as mad as a bag of squirrels. Lovely guy.
I think this one is the most playable one.
Yeah. He also did all his own graphics, so quite a talented guy. 1989. Oh, earlier than I thought. Yeah, because we wrote them all about at the same time. I'm glad you bought these, you know. It's a walk down memory lane for me. Yeah, Peter Goff, there you go.
You can see this. You can see the squares in this one.
Yeah. It's using the same routine.
But you can see squares like that, can't you?
Yeah.
It's just...
I think the advantage Peter had is the fact that a lot of the things you're shooting are static. They're not moving. They just pop up, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, he did most of his own graphics. It's I quite like. It's a really nice looking game, this was, isn't it?
It is.
And they were literally all. I mean, Mastertronic said, you know, how quickly can you do these? They're just like demos for the light gun.
Yeah.
So they said, you know, just knock them up in a couple of weeks. That's the budget you've got. I think we managed to get them. You know, each of us. A load of us are software creation just did it in parallel, and we knocked them out in like a fortnight, stuff like that. Yeah. Cool. Thank you very much. That was a real water down memory lane. That. Yeah. Cool. Wrapping up at the end, lots of weary retro enthusiasts packing up the stuff, ready to go home.